Hi guys, this is the VN Talks here again, episode 2. I'm Tala.
I'm Cata.
And I'm Marga.
Today we have a very interesting episode here today. That didn't make sense. Anyways, we're going to talk about the toxicity of friendships. Me and Marga, and I'm sure Cata as well, like we really bonded over this. We're gonna talk so much. We're gonna try to keep it for an hour because we have a lot to say on this. But Marga wants to say something.
Yeah, I want to start because, friendships that now, especially with social media, they have changed a lot. And one of the things that is like I love doing with my best friends, and here are other of my best friends, so I wanted to do as well, is like people used to like what they do now. I think this became popular in Tumblr in the beginning, and it was like you kind of have this template in which you position your friends, and there are different categories, like this person that looks like a cutie pie but could actually kill you, looks like she could kill you but it's actually a cutie pie. So I want to like get us into this template first so we can discuss it, and that way we can kind of break the ice and get into the toxicity of friendships, because some friendships are toxic but some others are not. So let's just start with something that good friends do. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the categories, Marga? Tell us.
Okay, so for example, one of the categories could be like, okay, who out of the three of us looks like a cutie pie but could actually kill you?
I don't know, but I feel that you guys are gonna say me.
Yeah, I would say Cata for sure. I mean, I'm sometimes scared of you, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
I'm scared of taking your food, literally. Because you would kill me for that. Like,
here's the thing. I realized that like when I was in high school, I am someone that like could literally go one day and give you my kidney. But if you catch me on the wrong day, I will not give you the piece of shit. It's my piece of shit, or it's my little candy. I'm sorry, it's mine. But yeah,
it's fair.
I mean, it's
sharing is not caring.
I would go for that.
That's what we learned here.
Yeah,
I would maybe.
Yeah,
Anyways.
You're a good friend, but just not with my food.
Yeah, just not with food.
Okay, I would go for Cata too. Okay, but what about looks like she could kill you? It's actually a cutie pie.
Okay, I actually would say me, because a lot of people say I'm intimidating. Like when they first look at me, like I remember our friend, like our classmate Bianca, if she's even watching this, hi Bianca.
Shut up.
She told me I was so intimidated by you at first, because like I remember I followed you on Instagram and even in class and online as well. You just looked really intimidating and like mean, and like a lot of other people told me that. But like once they get to know you, they're like, I'm shocked, because like you're
super sweet.
You're really sweet, but it's true. It's true. You're really intimidating.
Why though? Like I don't understand.
Like, okay.
Actually, wait, now I understand. Because I don't have a filter on my face, and like I would be thinking something, and then I would literally be thinking like, oh, for example, I would be thinking like, oh, Cata, she looks amazing, but my face would be like this. Like I have no control over my face. I have such facial expressions. But it's like, but also because... and people be like, Tala, what is wrong with you? Like your face is like you're judging them so much. I'm like, what? No. I'm actually thinking something else. I just have no control over my face.
I also think it's because you're really honest. So not even just the look, but also like you being so straightforward, you being the no filter, that kind of can make some people intimidated at first, because you're like, oh my God, this person like knows her shit. She's gonna tell you. So I think that's intimidating. But then when you like get to know you, like not even deeply, but just spend some time with you, you're really sweet. But it's true that in the beginning you're like, okay, I feel keep my distance.
I remember like the first impression of our whole class, Balder said something about, I don't know, he said something kind of stupid, I'm not gonna even lie. And then it was my first time speaking ever. Like I was so shy to speak, especially online. And when he said something about like how the Iraq invasion was an intervention, I went directly to like unmute. And I was like, no.
I'm sorry.
And I went off. I just went off on him like, that's not an intervention. It was an invasion. It was on false claims, blah, 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 blah. And then everyone like, I just could tell like it was just silent after. And I think everyone had that impression of me as like, I will attack you if you say something stupid.
If you're wrong, well, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go for you in that
I'm
sense.
nice. I promise. I'm nice.
I think for me, like Tala was never intimidating. Like I never thought that. I don't know why. Like I think
That's good to hear.
like yeah, like we were always
You were
together.
Me, sorry.
So like
really?
And
actually, Marga, what did you think of me? Oh my god. Okay, guys, this is not going to be about the toxicity of friendships. This is going to be about me. Marga, say.
That's the new episode.
What was your first impression?
I was a bit intimidated. I thought you were really funny. First of all, I thought like I want to be friends with this person, but I was intimidated in that sense. I was like, I want to be friends with this person. Like I loved you. Like I was like, I want to be her friend. But I was also like, what if she doesn't want to be my friend? Because I was like,
oh my god,
so intimidated. Like I'm really insecure, so that doesn't help. So I'm always like, nobody's gonna be friends with me.
I overthink all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I know sometimes you can feel like you say that about everyone, but no, I mean it. I was like a bit intimidated, but because you were like straightforward, you look like you have your things together and you know what to say. And I remember my first semester in class, I was like, people were like, what is your opinion? I would shut up, be like, I don't exist.
Listen, in high school,
you're brave.
In high school, everyone everyone hated me in high school. Well, no, they liked me on my social side, but I feel like
if someone is from Tala's high school, let us know if you hated her.
Everyone hated me in high school because I'm not gonna lie, I was aggressive. I was really aggressive in like politics and social issues. Like I would always debate on feminism, which is like the bare minimum, but like whatever, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we know.
LGBT rights, anything, black rights, like like basic human rights. And when someone would say something, I would get mad, and I was very passionate about it, and I would just attack. Now I would say I'm more calm, but I still have that aggressive side of me. But anyways, enough about me. Let's go to the next part.
Let's end the dynamic.
I was not able to finish.
Oh,
okay.
This is a chaotic episode, guys.
I'm sorry. Is that I have shit to say, okay?
No, exactly. You see, looks like a cutie pie. She starts crying, but then she goes, I have things to say. Then she could actually kill you. Okay, go ahead, Cata. We'll finish the dynamic and we'll get into the topic.
What I was gonna say is that like my first impression of Tala was not that she was not like rude or mean, or like I should be scared of her, because like I was seeing her in Zoom and she was always like laughing, and I was like, oh, that's fun. So like I never really thought like much about it, but like I do understand why people be intimidated by her, like because the way like that you pays your life is like, well, like fuck you. So like move, like I don't care what you say. So like
that's queen attitude, girl.
So, like, I learned that after I met you.
Yeah. That's nice to hear.
Okay, we love you, Tala.
I love you too.
I like your high school. We love you.
I'm not that girl again. I hated high school me. Oh my god. We're not okay. Oh my god, yeah. We're gonna talk about high school because
why not?
Toxic friendships.
Yeah, but first I want to know what Marga is.
Oh yeah, Marga, let's do the next one, okay. And then we can get
so
into
we have
it.
two categories, so you can choose. So we have so we've said that Tala looks like she could kill you. It's actually a cutie pie. And then Catalina looks like a cutie pie, but could actually kill you. So we have two left. Looks like a cutie pie. Is a cutie pie. Looks like she could kill you, and she could kill you.
I think.
Looks like a cutie pie, and she could kill you.
Well, I mean, we can repeat category, but the two that we have left, if we do the template well, is looks like a cutie pie and is a cutie pie, or looks like she could kill you and she could kill you. Like, looks like it and could do it.
I feel for you. You're like, she looks like a cutie pie and is actually a cutie pie. I don't
me too.
I could ever think of you could kill someone in any way, or like is very intimidating. Like I feel like the first impression was very good, and it was just like, you're very cute, you're very nice, you're just a whole personality. Guys, honestly, screw the toxicity of friendships. Can we just like talk about each other? The audience is just gonna be like,
we love our friendships.
You guys are so narcissistic.
Okay. I think this is my moment to leave. Like,
anyways, okay, let's get started.
Let's get into the topic.
I'm sorry if we took too long with that, but you get to know us more, so I don't know.
The views keep going down.
The views keep
And the views that we don't have are living.
The 5 views have got to do.
Okay, what are we gonna start with? Because we have a lot of things to say. We have
I know.
so many experiences and heartbreaks. Okay, wait. I have one question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you think it's like heartbreak is not only for like relationships, like for like boyfriend girlfriend, or it also could be like from friendships, like you could have a really bad heartbreak. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I think I have that on my notes, like friendship breakups, and like if you want, I can start with that. So like when we decided on the topic, I like the first thing that came to mind, like I read a to-do list with one thing that was text one of my friends from back at home. Literally that's all it says. And I texted her, I was like, girly, like I'm gonna talk like on my podcast, I'm gonna do top episode about like toxicity of friendship. And you know, our friendship was really toxic. And I straight out to her because we both know it. No, we both know it. We both acknowledge it. And now it's all fine, now it's all good. But like for a long time, like our friendship went through a lot of things, and I can like make an episode out of only that. But like for like a long time, like we did like break up. Let's say like we stopped talking for a long time. And I think the thing about having like breaking up with your best friend in a way is that you're losing the person that knows everything about you, the person that you want to talk to the most, especially if you don't have a boyfriend. Like I was like 15, 16 when like our friendship was going through this really rough patch. So like when something's wrong, when something's right, you always want to share with a friend. And like especially like when I was 15, like I was talking to her like every single day. So like you just like that like connection is gone. Plus that like you're not hoping, like you're like the reason why you have this connections is not because you want love, it's just because you want to share like moments with someone. So it was really tough. So I talked to her and like she told me that I could share our experiences. So if you gotta talk about like some like moments, I can do that. But like yes, I do believe that like friendship breakups exist, and I think they can
hurt you the harder. Most. They like
I think they can hurt. Like I think I was more hurt by like my friendship being really bad with her than like when something happened with like some guy randomly, honestly.
Yeah, like unpopular opinion for me, I feel like friendship breakups are way harder and like more like painful than relationship breakups.
Oh, they are.
For me. Like it's just like because you rely like that's, and now we're gonna get into this more, but like you think this person's gonna stay in your life and like they're your support system, your backbone, they're always there for you, you guys spend literally all the time together, you barely see your family because of them all the time 24/7, and then once it happens it's just like it, you know, once the breakup happens, like, oh, I didn't mean really much to you, you know. But I feel like also we go through friendships, like these certain friendships, to kind of learn and grow and like change. We need to go through these friendships to kind of like grow in life. I feel like it's very important. And again, everything happens for a reason. And I feel like those friendships, they were messed up. Yeah, they were hurtful. Yeah, they were painful. But like they were necessary for you to like acknowledge what you want in life, you to figure out yourself, to love yourself more and know who you want to be, like what type of friendships you want, you know, to set your boundaries and have that respect and value and love from your friends, because that's what you deserve, you know.
Absolutely. Totally. And even when it comes to toxic relationships, when it comes to toxic friendships, of course, I'm not going to say like, oh, we should all go through one or many of them so we know how it feels. No, that's not it. But for sure, there are things you learn out of them. Yeah. Of course, it would be best if we could all just know how to escape from them before they happen, know how to not have toxic attitudes ourselves, because we can talk about this. And there are times in which maybe we have been ourselves a part of it, or we have engaged in them even unconsciously or without wanting to. But of course, it's not like I want people to go through them so they can learn. You can learn from friendships in many other ways, and they do not necessarily need to be toxic. But of course, at the end of the day, if they have happened and you have like handled them so you could get out of them, it's good that at the end of the day they were there to teach you something.
Yeah.
So it's like exactly figuring out where are my limits, what things am I not gonna allow, because I think this is hurting me, this is hurting my mental health or my self-confidence. I see this is not being good for me. So basically setting those boundaries, setting those limits. Like if you've had a toxic friendship, at least if you can get something out of it, is the fact of knowing I don't want to be back into this spot. It is really hard, and I wish I wouldn't have had to go through it, but at least I can get that out.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm not saying that we all should go through toxic friendships to like learn in life, but certain people, like when we're young and we're like, teenagers, we don't know, like we don't know how we deserve to be treated. We don't really acknowledge our self-worth as much. At least for me, I feel like my whole life I've kind of been a person to like, I've been a person, I don't like to say this is my personality trait, but like I kind of been a person, but like I feel like I'm too kind sometimes, and I've
a giver
so much. Yeah, exactly, where like a lot of friends stepped on me and took advantage of that kindness and hurt me in the process. So like I didn't know really how to defend myself or how to speak for myself or how to have a voice to like put my boundaries and acknowledge what I deserve, my self-worth. And to like make it clear, like I discovered this literally last summer, and like since then I really haven't had like that feeling from friendships anymore, because I know what I deserve, I know my self-worth, and I know like I don't deserve to be treated my friends. If you don't want to be my life, if you don't want to be a good friend, then you can get the fuck out. I'm sorry. Like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna beg you. And old me would have begged. I begged my friends to like stay or to like be my friend, and I would do literally the world. I would go and like I would literally take a bullet for those people, and they would have never done the same. And I feel like we also need to acknowledge that sometimes we can see friends in a certain way and they won't see us in the same way. It's not mutual, which is why you could see a lot of breakups happening, because they didn't see you the same way you saw them. So it wasn't reciprocated. It wasn't reciprocated.
It didn't feel mutual. And I think that happens a lot, because I've been through that same dynamic with people like myself, that we have this kind of lack of self-confidence, and we live sometimes out of validation, like external validation. So it's like, if you got that friend that kind of makes you feel like I'm not alone, and makes you feel, even though maybe you could have the world and you would deserve much more, it's like, this is the bare minimum, like this is what I can get. And because this one person kind of validates what I do, is like I have to just hold this and never let it go, even though it's toxic, even though it's hurting me. It was like, because I live out of, and that's something I'm trying to like acknowledge and get better at, like not living for external validation. But when you do, and when you have that mindset, it's like that friend is like, oh my God, if I let this friend go, what am I gonna do? Who's gonna love me? No one. No one.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
I stuck so long with all of these toxic friendships, because I, like you, Marga, like I relate to you so much, because I have always kind of been a very insecure, like low self-esteem, like no confidence whatsoever. And so I let my friends be my happiness instead of adding to my happiness. And that's the mentality everyone should think of. You should not let your friends, and I also acknowledge this, I realized all of this last summer. I acknowledge that like you should not let your friends be your happiness. That is the worst thing you can do to yourself. They should only add to your happiness, like stop like the self-reliance on your friends to make you happy and to make you less sad is never gonna work. Trust me. Just piece of advice does not work. It actually kills you even more, and it makes you, because like once they do something, you feel like shit, and you're like, oh, like you start shitting on yourself, you start doubting everything, and you start being scared of them leaving and begging them, and just like not acknowledging your self-worth. So like, what do you guys think of like people depending on their friends to like make them happy? Because it is kind of problematic, like I don't feel like
it's hard. I think like honestly, like now that you're talking, I think it can be in both ends of the spectrum. So like when I was like probably 14, I did depend on this one friend that I'm saying, like I was like, my mental health was like garbage, so like I needed someone to be like there and like she was always there, but like that was really bad because whenever she was not, like, who the fuck was I? No one. But then I go to the other end of the spectrum. This other friend that I had, like, that I haven't talked to her in a long time, like all the tights are cut, but she told me that like she needed to cut her friendship because she was very dependent on me. I had no idea about that.
Wow.
But she, yeah, I don't know if she's listening to this. If you are, hi, what's up? Let's text, let's call. I'm gonna be in the country soon. But I really doubt she is. But she texted me and she told me like, yeah, I stopped talking to you because like I realized that like for me, like being your friend was really bad because like I like I have to acknowledge this, like I have a really like outgoing like sort of like personality, and I always like speak my mind, and like I'm always very on my own agenda. And I think I was like sort of overpowering her and dragging her along with me. Like I didn't do it because I wanted to be mean, or I just thought that we were friends and like she wanted to come with me and like whatever was I doing or like live. And she was like, she texted me like a long time after that, after we stopped talking, and she was like, I needed to stop talking to you because like I needed to find my own path. I like my voice was like being like let down because of yours. And she told me like it was really hard because for a long, like whenever I saw like a picture or a video, like I just wanted to tell you because you're so funny, like you always made me like laugh and smile, and like I just needed to make myself smile by myself.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like it made me realize a lot of things. Like I obviously, and I think it's also like a way to like show you guys that like if toxic friendships is like not like one person is good, the other one's bad. I literally have no idea about this. Like I was just being myself to the fullest. But by
I don't
that,
think
like
it was your fault.
yeah,
I think
I don't think it was my fault, but like
no, yeah,
she had like that dependency because like, and like she had to learn herself.
Yeah, like
I'm really glad.
My past friendships. Sorry, Marga, you want to talk?
No. I was just gonna say I was really glad that it literally like reached out. Like she was, because sometimes you're not capable of recognizing it.
But it was like, so hard. Like, okay, so now I'm gonna talk about like my part. Like that was like Cata reflecting, but like now real Cata like being like, she stopped talking to me like right when the pandemic hit, and like in Colombia the pandemic was really hard. Like we had like lockdown until like at least like 6 months of lockdown, like full lockdown. So like the only way for me to contact my friends was like calling them, especially like I live really far away from all of them. And like one of like she was like my best friend at the time, and she just stopped talking to me. And like some other friends like stopped talking to me. Like it was really hard. Like, why aren't you not talking to me? Like we're like 2 days ago we were talking all the time. I was like having sleepovers in your house, and like now like the only way I can reach you is when we are together in a Zoom call for class. And you don't even talk to me, like you don't address me, you address the group. So it was really hard because like, but like, and until like I think it was not until November that she acknowledged, like she told me, I was like, hey, like so this is the reason why. I had tried to contact her before, it didn't happen. So like it was really hard because like it left me being like, did I do something wrong? Like I'm like I was just being me because it's literally from one day to another. So yeah, so like it was really hard, but like after like she explained to me, well, sort of, I was able to like understand and like be like, okay, like I had no idea about this. It probably she had told me like we could have made it work, but like I haven't talked to her, but I know that she's a great place right now mentally and like in her career and stuff. So like I'm really happy for her. But like it took a lot of time, and like I'm really proud of her for doing what was good for her and what was best for her, taking the pandemic to like have growth on herself. But it was really hard as well, like for my part.
Like what I was gonna say something. I said like you shouldn't, no, it's fine. Like I said, like you shouldn't blame yourself, because personally for me, I was the type of person that was that your friend. Like I depended on my friends without even acknowledge, like I didn't know it. Like I just had it subconsciously. I knew like without them I would literally go to shit, like legit. And so I didn't blame, for I don't blame them for all of that. That was kind of my fault, that I relied on them to make me happy instead of adding to my happiness. But other than that, I still also kind of blame them. Or like now I'm like, I'm good. I have closure with myself. But like I still acknowledge that we were just not right friends for each other, you know? We're just not
Yeah.
like, I hope you're happy. I hope you're doing well in life, but we just weren't working together, and being friends with you actually made me feel less of myself. So I feel like
Yeah.
we shouldn't really, too, in friend breakups, unless they do really messed up things to you, like in friend breakups, we shouldn't really have this hate towards one each other after, because you guys still loved each other, you know?
Yeah.
You guys still have had that mutual respect towards one another. So like I feel like you should just like acknowledge that you weren't right together. It was necessary to end things, but you know,
Yeah.
I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing good in life, and you know, all good to you, you know?
I have a question for that, like for both of
But
you. Like, do you think that like it was a sort of like right person, wrong time, or was it just the wrong person? Like, do you think that like do you see yourself like reaching out in the future like to this humans and be like, hey, like, do you want to hang out? Like, or you're just like,
I
no, we cut the ties, it was bad, and like I don't care if they grow, they're not coming back into my life.
well, in my case, and then I'll let Tala say her case. In my case, I think it was wrong person. Like I don't think I would have like the person I am thinking of. It's not like I would then say I have totally cut ties, but it's true that we don't talk. It's like it's not that we hate each other or anything like that, but it's not. I wouldn't be able to tell you right now what is going on in this person's life. 100% for sure. So it's not like we hate each other or anything like that, but I know we're doing better now, and we have like like our lives are doing better now, even if we don't know about each other, and we wish each other the best. But it's just that we know maybe it wasn't the time, but it was definitely not the person either. Like
yeah.
I will always be grateful for the good things that she did for me, and I hope it's mutual. I hope we have that good memory of each other. But I think we knew it there was a point in which it came to an end. It was like we were not the same people anymore, and that's fine. And we were changing friends, and the dynamics in our class changed, and we were not best friends anymore, and that's okay. But because we have changed, and because our paths were like totally just separating and going two total different ways. I think it was right sometime, but the moment it stopped being right, it was not because of the time. It was because we were becoming different people, and that was okay. And I found like other people that I feel that I will. I mean, one can never know, but I found these people that I think are my best friends, that I feel close to, and I felt close to at every point. So I've kind of feel these people are the right people at the right time, at the wrong time, at any time. And what I felt with my friend is, she was right for some time, but the moment that suddenly something changed, we were not meant for each other. So it was the right time for some time, and afterwards it was just we discovered that we were not made for each other, not anymore. And that's okay. There's no hate, but I don't think we would never like have the same relationship again. But that's, of course, that's so personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Tala?
When you
Huh.
Tala.
Stated.
I completely
That's
agree.
right.
I feel like wrong person, no, right person, wrong time. Sorry, kind of like mixed up it a bit. I kind of like, I would agree with it in like relationships where they're both at a different time of life. They're focusing on their careers. It's just like not right time to focus on a relationship. But I
Yeah.
don't think I would agree with the same like in friendships. I feel like I would definitely agree with Monica. It's definitely wrong person. Obviously, like of course you appreciate the good things they've done to you, but like things, I truly believe in like things happen for a reason, and all of this wouldn't happen for a reason for you to just go and be friends with them again. Like what happened, like what they did, and like how they treated you throughout the friendship. It's just like you need to realize that you're just not the right person for each other to be friends. Like I said before, it's just like I hope you're happy, no hate, no nothing, but we just weren't right friends for each other, and that's fine. Like, not we don't have to be friends with like everyone, you know, like it's just like we don't have to be friends with certain people. Like it's sometimes like that, like you can't, like you're just not right friends for some people, you know, and vice versa. So yeah, I would definitely agree with Marga. What do you think?
I think for me, like going back to the first friend that I've been mentioning, I think we're just gonna like mention her over.
Shut up.
I think shout out to you. You know who you are. I texted you. I asked you if I could talk about you. I got the consent, so I'm gonna take it out.
Yeah, but, send her the link afterwards.
Oh, I will. I'll be like, girlie, I mentioned you here, and here. But I think with her we can agree it's like right person, wrong times, because their friendship is very like, you know, very crossing lines, like this. So like we're just like we never stop being friends, but we like, you know, it's like that we just break up and get back together all the time. That's how you can say it. So like it's gets bad, then we stop talking, then we reconnect, and like I reconnected with her right before coming to uni, and like literally is one of my only friends back at home like that I talk to, like not on the daily, but I like keep her updated of my life. And I think like now saying that, we can jump on to like a little bit of another topic, is like, what do you consider best friend, and how often do you talk with your friends? Like, because I think it's a very like, I think like for me, like growing up, it was a very like issue, like being like, oh, I have to talk to my friends like every single day, and like my top number one best friend is this one. And like I was like, I never really had like a top best friend and my other best friends, but like hearing it from other people, I was like, this is like my super mega duper bestie, this is my like bestie forever. So like what like for you is like really a best friend, and how often do you talk?
Wow, I have struggled with this that you're talking about. I'm gonna let Tala go first in this one, but I have, because I don't want to like take over every time you ask a question, but I have like, I know the feeling you're talking about, like of like this feeling of, do I have a first best friend, like do I have categories? Is this like my best friend that I should talk to every day? And feeling that pressure, like, do I have to text my best friend every day? Does she have to know everything? Is it okay if I have two best friends? And that is something that haunted me my entire life. So I could talk for so much time. So I'm just gonna let Tala do it.
Okay, go Tala.
I even forgot the question.
Okay, so
I remembered now.
Okay.
Personally, I'm the type of person to not really contact. I just don't like to call. I don't like to text. That doesn't mean I don't care about you. It's just like I'm not that type of person. And I remember like in 10th grade, there was this like, she was my really really close friend, and she moved schools, and she got mad at me that I wasn't calling her or texting her. And she was like, I'm the one that moved, you're the one that's supposed to talk, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm sorry, I love you, and I care about you, but I don't need, like, I can't, like, I don't like talking. I'm not a texter person. I'm not a calling person. Like, even now, my friends, they FaceTime call me, and they're like, yeah, like they FaceTime call me, and they're like, yeah, like you don't call like as much, like we always call you, like, well, you're so in Arabic terms nashfe, and that means dry. So
you're not.
You're so dry, like, but they say in a joking way, so like I understand, and I kind of am, but like it's just because I don't like texting.
I don't
obviously I do call the closest friends to me, to see how they are, to check up, to like show them I'm still there for them. So like, of course, obviously I'm personally not a texter, I'm not a caller, but obviously not just go ghost the girl or the guy, like I still have to be their friend. So I don't agree with texting every day. I really hate it. Like, you don't have to prove that you're my best friend by texting. Like, it just doesn't make sense, but at the same time, we still acknowledge that we exist. We don't go AWOL on each other.
Yeah, I don't talk to like my bestest friends on text every day. Not at all. We don't.
And about like the best friend category, like my whole life I've been always like, oh, like I want a best friend, I want a best friend. I had best friends, but like I feel like those best friends were like in the name, they weren't truly best friends. So now I feel like in my life I don't look for best friends, I just look for the closest people to my heart. and who adds to my happiness, instead of like, oh, I have one best friend. No, they're all like close, good, great friends. I don't have to have that one best friend. Like, that's the point. Like, I don't want to rely on one person to make me happy. That's the wrong mentality. I don't know, that's in my opinion.
If you want, I can take it over, Marga, so you have time.
Go ahead.
For me, like, for a long time, like, I am very bad at expressing my feelings, so I like to type everything down. I like writing, so like it makes sense. So like I for a long time, I was like texting my friends every day. Like, really, like, they're people that I talk to every day. Not now, but like once upon a time, like last year. But like now, like, I don't talk to anyone. I talk to myself. But anyway, so like for a long time I was like, yes, like I do need to talk to people like every single day. But it's funny for me because like my best, like, I don't really have a best friend, but like my close friends, we could say, I talk to them like once every 3-4 months, or like whatever, like something really late. But like I talk to them because I'm like, oh, this person exists, I want to know how their life is. But like also do that, like the reason why it's like that is because I know that if something's wrong with me or I need to talk to them, I can call them and they will pick up. Like, literally, like, so many things happen over the semester, and like I barely talk to my friends, but those times that I was like trashed or like bad or like I needed someone, I just called them. 30 seconds later, they picked up the phone. They're like, what's wrong? Tell me everything, I'm here. And it happened to me like various times. Like, I think they just proved me a lot of things, that like, and I think it also proved me for them that I was like someone special in their life, because they were picking up, even if they're like busy or they're like, Cata, like, we're in a different time zone. Like, we're really, you're like in class right now, and like you're calling, like crying, like, I'm sorry, whoops, I forgot. But I'm like also like on the best friend, like that's for me, like texting, like it really doesn't matter a lot. And like also, like, on that note, I like a few days ago, someone texted me and was like, Kata, have you talked to XY person? And like, no. And they're like, why haven't you talked to them? I was like, because like, why should I was like, but weren't you two guys friends? I was like, yes, we're friends. And they're like, so why haven't you talked to him? Is everything okay? I was like, yes, everything's fine, I just don't talk to them every single day, and I don't have any reason to talk to them today. So like, it's that thing, like I don't have to prove my friendships. And I think about like the best friend things, I usually call my friends best friends, like, but never to them, like probably to someone else, to be like, this is my best friend, just for them to like understand, because we have this notion of best friend of like someone really close. So like I would just say like, oh yeah, it's my best friend Tala, like, so like people understand that we're close. But like it's not that like we can be best friends, but like it's not that like written down like, oh, we're best friends forever, and like we're gonna be together until the day we die. But like, so like that's for me, like best friends, it's just like a title. Obviously it's really sweet when someone calls you their best friend, like
it is sweet,
it's super sweet, but it's like not like the end of the world. Like,
I know, but I feel like I just been traumatic by by all my best friends, so I just don't want to have that label. I just don't like it. I feel like it puts,
I think it's sweet,
high expectations sometimes, like for your friends to like do the best things for you when they're not going to. You're like the world doesn't, like, they're not gonna, you're not the center of their life. They have other things that are important in their life. For me, so if you when you have that high expectation, you're like, yeah, she's my best friend, I love her, and then they disappoint you with one thing, and then you get really sad and bothered with yourself.
Tala doesn't trust anyone anymore. Yeah, she's like, everyone's gonna disappoint me.
Like traumatic. I have PTSD from friendships. Like, I swear to fucking God. Like, I don't even know how I have friends now. Like, I'm just joking. Guys, I'm not a loser. No, but I just feel like I don't have trust issues. I just feel like I don't want to have that high expectations, because high expectations will disappoint you.
So you tied the word best friend with expectations. That's what we're getting.
With high expectations. I mean, for me, like, I just don't want to have that label, Because like I'm just gonna describe. I have best friends, but I just don't describe them as best friends. Like, I describe them as like my closest to my heart. You know, I love them. But if all of them, like, listen, this is, and we're gonna talk about this more in future episodes. Like, if all of my friends, all my closest people to my heart, all of them went away, and I'm still trying to have this mentality. I'm getting there. If all of them wiped away from my life, you know, and I was alone, that's okay. Like, I would still be fine, because they're just, you know, like, they're and adding like an addition to my happiness, you know, not like the center of my happiness.
Yeah, but like, can you have your happiness by saying that someone is your best friend?
What?
But like, so like the thing is that like now you're tying the word best friend with like expectations that like they're gonna tie that you're gonna tie. I mean, at least for me,
I feel like a lot of people. Like, I don't want to use, I don't know. Wait, what's your question? I don't get it.
It's fine. It's fine. No worries.
No, let's ask it. Let's have it. No, let's ask it. Come on. I want to know.
Marga talks. Okay, before Marga talks, gonna tell like a little story before like you
know. Let Marga talk. Question. Okay. What are we talking about? Okay, wait, guys. I feel like I sounded like a psychopath. I don't have like hate the idea of having a best friend.
Don't be Tala's best friend, guys.
I just
you're gonna have bad expectations about you.
I just don't want to label. Like, I don't want to have that high expectation, because with having a best friend, I had high expectations. That's just from my own personal experience.
Okay, good.
For Cata, a best friend is something else. But like, if people call me a best friend, I would feel very happy. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Like,
I was gonna say that that I had like a really sweet experience with Maria, and that I know she listens to this. She sends me like screenshots. And like we were like one day and she was like talking to someone else, and they asked her who are her closest friends. And like I just heard my name, like I was not there. I was like, why are you talking about me? She was like, because you're one of my best friends. Until this day, I just want to like I've been wanting to cry because it's so cute. It's so small. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can acknowledge, you know, being close without the label necessarily.
Okay, Marga,
you can use it or not, but you know. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Maya. I'm not a psychopath, I swear.
Yeah, we understood, Tala. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go over this so we can maybe touch upon one more thing before we have to leave. So I mean, the thing that comes with about texting every day and all of this and being in contact with these people you hold your best friends or you acknowledge your closest friends, I have always felt that pressure, especially because I'm not a person to talk a lot on WhatsApp, especially if I'm having these days in which I'm mentally not doing well. I will like not reach out and people will be like, oh my God, you have not texted in like 3 hours. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah. I might not text in 24 hours and I'll be totally fine. Just not in the mental, in the mental mindset to be like answering to people. And I'm still existing. Like, you can call my mom. She'll say, I'm in my room, but I'm just not, you're not always like texting everyone all the time. And that includes even the people that you're closest to. And these people, when I say best friends, I feel like I'm a person to use the word best friend, but I don't use it with like exclusively with one person. I talk about my best friends, and I have like more people that I'm talking about, not just one. So when I say like my best friends, and I talk, let's say, about my Segovian best friends, the ones that I've met from high school, and I think about 3 specifically that I'm pretty close to. I never like think about them as
hi David. We know you listen to this. Have a nice day. We love you.
She said hi to one of them. So yeah, he's my male best friend. So I know, like, is it that we at some point decided to label us as best friends? No, I just label him that way because I know he's really close to me. He might, he might then introduce me
with it. Yeah, I just feel like I use the introduce me term more
in another way. Yeah, he might then just go and tell someone this is my friend, and I would be okay. I wouldn't be like, okay, if he said this is my enemy, then there would be a problem there. But as long as it's just that I say best friend because I feel really close to him, and that's okay. But with these people that I talk to as my best friends, do I text them every day? No. Do we have to talk to each other every day and acknowledge their existence every day? No. But I know they're there. I know I can tell them whatever I need. And it's not like I don't need to text you to prove you were friends or best friends every day, because there's a really big difference between ghosting and respecting someone's lives and someone's life, someone's personal space, someone's time for themselves. And I feel like sometimes we all need that personal space, that time for ourselves to think. And those days in which you just want to stay home and you don't want to know about life. Of course, it cannot be a week. You cannot just pretend life doesn't exist. I wish for too much time. But if you have one of those days, my friends will not just be like, "Why haven't you answered in like 3 hours? Do you not care about me anymore?" It doesn't go that way. And I'm not ghosting you. It's just that sometimes we all need time. And if it takes you years to text me back, don't worry. It will take me like 2 years after you text me back. So don't worry. It doesn't mean I don't remember you or that I don't love you. It's just that we all go through things in life and sometimes it all piles up. So even with my best friends, they know I'm a bad texter, but that doesn't mean I care about you less. And we can just, and I feel like that also makes me less prone to be emotionally dependent on someone, because if I have this addiction to just having to text someone every day and having this level of, oh my god, my best friend, how have I not texted this person today yet? It will be like, why do you feel this need to update someone all the time? It's like, and I've realized this, I'm like, this is not good for my mental health. So I feel even better if I know, I've got WhatsApp, but I will just answer when I need to answer. We'll talk when we have something to talk about. I'm not the kind of person to have an empty conversation and be like, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? What are we doing? What's the point? You're losing your time and losing mine. It's like, there's no point. That's true. That's a bit about, the best friend label and the texting thing altogether. Yeah, that was my run.
I love it, Marga. And now we can if you're watching this on YouTube, you might be seeing me looking down. It's because I have notes. And my last notes, we can talk about some other things. You guys let me know which one we can talk about. So I have notes in like guys and girls friendships. We can talk about competitiveness within relationships and friendships. And I can also give a little rant because I did some research on friendships. So let me know, what do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about?
Okay, I do want to listen to that research. Maybe you can end with that.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I kind of want to talk about the competitiveness one.
Yeah, comparing on each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
I used to compare a lot. I used to compare myself a lot.
Yeah. So for my competitiveness, out of my notes, I really wrote them down, and I've been taking notes while you guys talk, so I don't forget what we said.
Read your notes.
It says, so competitiveness is when I think about it, I think a lot about high school, because grades are a big part, especially for the last years of your life. And my school was intense since I was in pre-K. Literally my grandparents and now my aunt tell me all the time, relax, take a break, because I don't take breaks. I'm always working. So I think competitiveness in the high school and maybe college environment, it's a lot about notes, about who's getting where, who's getting where faster, who's getting I don't know, more LinkedIn people, who's getting more internships, who's getting the best grades. And I think for me, in friendships, and the way that it can get super toxic is when you start realizing, when you think that your paths have to be parallel lines, your paths have to be twins and not sisters. And that's, I think it's a big, or siblings, if you want. So I think for me, so in my friendships, so once again, my friend that I've been talking about, she graduated top of the class. She was top of the class the whole life. And I obviously realized that I was not going to match up to her, and from early on. So what we always did is that whenever I got a 70, we celebrated as if it was her hundreds, and her 100%, we celebrated together. It's about getting that we're both getting somewhere, but we don't have to get to the same place. And maybe she's gonna get that internship faster than I do, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna get anywhere. And I think also it will always hurt for you to share grades or share stuff, but you always have to be proud of your friend. I think that's this for me, that's really important. You always have to be proud of them.
It's not a competition.
And of
it's not a
yourself.
competition. Like once again,
you're
like
supposed to support your friend and be happy.
Your paths are not supposed to be twins. Like you're never supposed to have like the same path as someone else. It's always going to be different. So I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, it's your life.
What do you guys have on competitiveness?
Do you want to go to listeners? Those listen just miss this.
Honestly, I just think it's so stupid because why are you friends? Are you friends to like bring her down, like bring your friend down and like compare yourself and be jealous and insecure when you could lift her up and be happy for her and focus on yourself as well and do things that are good for you? Like, I don't get it. It's just you're wasting your time on unnecessary, cruel, mean things for your friend that cares deeply about you. When instead putting that effort on focusing on yourself and you know, in focusing on your career or whatever you like to improve yourself, to like grow and learn and be a better person or whatever. You know, I just feel like it's so unnecessary and so problematic to always bring down your friend for her successes instead of lifting her up. I feel like you're not a true friend. You're not a good friend. And just like, like go figure out yourself out instead of tearing down your own friend. So I just feel like it's bullshit. No offense.
Yeah.
Oh God.
What about you, Marga?
Oh God, I would have.
It was like going to go off.
I'm about to go off. I have a really bad history with this. Really bad history. Because I don't get me wrong, my group of like girlfriends at school, I love them all, but it's true that many of us were kind of really high achieving girls, and that kind of played against us. It was times in which I did not realize how bad it was, but when I look at it now from the perspective that I have now, I'm like, oh my God, that was so bad, like so toxic. Because it was not always just about comparing us like one to each other, which we did, comparing grades, seeing and kind of having always an eye on what the other one was doing to see you were not behind. It came to even like more toxic things. I remember we used to like even compare and update each other on what we were doing, just because we had this mindset of, okay, let's see, this person is not at home now, which means she's not studying. That means she's like wasting 1 hour of her life. So that hour I wasted today somewhere else, it's fine. So it's fine. Now, let me just, I can study now. That means she's wasting more time than I'm wasting. And I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. And we would even at some point, we confessed this to each other and we looked at each other like, what the hell are we doing? Because it was crazy. Like, it was like people just telling each other their schedules, their grades, to say like, okay, this person has this grade, which means I need to get at least this grade. So I'm like at the same level. It was like competitiveness, like to a whole another level. It was so toxic. And that kind of made me, I was obsessed with school. I was obsessed with grades. I was not grade conscious. I was grade obsessed. Like, I've never been as insecure as I would be if I got like less than a 9.5 on this scale that we do in Spain that is out of 10. Every time I had like less than a 9.5, I would just come home and cry. It would be like, my God, what have I done? Like, I'm ruining my life. And I would see other people happy with their 5s, which is like the bare minimum to pass. And I would be like, how? Because
that's me.
Because
I was gonna say the same thing, but I was like, I'm gonna sound funny. No, we all get significantly good grades.
That was your healthy mindset, unlike mine, my friends. And I love them with my entire heart. But I think if they're now, I think all of us at uni now have acknowledged that our grades are not the end of the world, and we like know what we did back in the day was not good. But back in the day it was crazy. So I don't think you're gonna be offended if any of them know about this, or they would like agree and be like, yeah, we were way too obsessed. And when you come to uni, you kind of, you come to reality and you're like, okay, this is not sustainable. But it was like unhealthy in every single way, because at some point when I was in secondary school, I had to start therapy, and I would feel really guilty because I was wasting 1 hour or 2 of my life that the rest of people were being productive, which is a word I hate. Being like productive. What's being productive? I hate it.
It's okay to have a rest day, like
exactly. It's like, oh my god, I'm not being productive because I decided to sit down and watch a Netflix episode. And what, dude? You did because you needed it. And
yeah.
I wish I was saying this as someone that, you know, has had this mindset for years, but no, I'm seeing it as someone who like hit with reality and had to like slow down. Because there was a point of my life in which I could not study for some reasons that I'm sure I will confess at this podcast at some point, because hopefully only my mom will be listening, so she knows. and so I could not study. I could not do anything. So of course, what I would do is like feel so guilty because I was like, I cannot not be productive. Look at my friends. Look at what they're doing. They're gonna get
so stressful. I would die.
But also like
it was so toxic. That is toxic.
That's stressful.
Yeah, but like also
I don't like it.
I
would rather.
Instead of like also competitiveness of grades and like school and like career is also toxic, but also competitive. But I can't even say the word. I'm sorry. Like the competition over looks. Competition over looks, where like you would see your friend like is like kind of pretty and gets attention from guys, or like is kind of outshining you, and then like I'm not saying me, but like, and then you would not invite her when you're hanging out with, you know, other guy friends or other people because you're afraid of like her outshining yourself. That's toxic. I feel like
it's so bad.
It's sad because like it all comes from insecurities and the comparison of yourself to others. But people need to remember that the beauty of one person doesn't mean it's the absence of your beauty. You know, everyone has their own beauty and everyone has
their own path in life.
So you don't have to always you don't have to always think about, you know, how she's gonna outshine you and how she's gonna take the spotlight and how she's gonna take all your friends, and just acknowledge that you have your own personality, you have your own looks, your own everything, where you could also shine yourself. Like you both could shine. No need to like have this competition. Like I remember, you know, my friends well, no, but like I know some people who would, you know, never introduce their friends, their significantly pretty, social, nice friends to their guy friends or their, you know, other type of friends, and they would and they would like always ignore them and like ditch them, and you know, and never invite them, and just like that's just very toxic. I don't know. I don't like that.
That's so bad.
We have like so much to talk about this, but we don't have much time. We have like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Do you want me to finish?
Yeah, let's do my research. Let's do your research.
While I was preparing for the episode, I was like, oh, I would love to like have a segment. It is like a quote of the day or something. So I went online and I started searching for like friendship quotes. And I was like, this is like toxic. Like literally, like never search for friendship quotes.
No, that sounds cringy.
I saw that and like I remember I was like 12 reading this thing like the first time, and like I just remember one of them, like I have it written down here, but like it said like a true friendship is one of the most prized possessions. I was like are we talking about people as if like you possess them, like as yours, as like you own them? And I was like so shocked. Another one said like, and like I have said this like in the past, but like I think this is like really stressful for a lot of people, like if you don't have the aesthetic, like certain looks. And it says like every blonde girl has a brunette best friend, or every tall girl has like a short best friend. And like, what if you're not the short one? What if you both are the same height? Like it makes absolutely no sense. And then like you're putting yourself this pressure, because I did, but like, oh, I have to look certain way so that I can be her best friend. Makes no sense. And I think the one thing that like the one quote that I was like, oh, this is half good, but it's so cringy and it's like so like fluffy and like stuff. It said like true friends are never apart, maybe in distance, but never in heart. And I think that's the way we can end the episode. That like really like friendship toxic can be really, really toxic, but like as long as you are okay with your heart and you have someone positioned there, pretty sure like things are going to turn out great. And like always talk out your problems. Like if you're feeling that like someone is overshadowing you or someone is like treating you incorrectly, that's right, that might be one of the greatest persons alive, but like it's really hurting you, like really do think for yourself, because the most important thing is that no matter what in life, you might say I'm going to have this person forever, but the person that you're always going to have is yourself. So I think that's a good note to end the episode. I don't know if you guys have something else to say.
No, we obviously have a lot more to say, but
so many more things.
So many more things, but obviously we talked a lot about it, and I feel like we really had a really great conversation, in my opinion.
Yeah. We could always have a part
episode is going to be really interesting as well. We're going to have our first guest speaker. Woo, yay. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
until that happens,
in tune, guys. We have a lot of things planned.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah.
Subscribe,
until that happens. Yeah. Remember, we're available everywhere. We're kind of figuring out right now Apple Podcasts, iVoox, and some of those.
But Spotify,
for
YouTube.
Now, Spotify, YouTube are all up. Our web is up. So is our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if I'm missing something.
Our email.
But everything relates. Our email. If you wanna
contact us, yeah.
If you wanna like
a personalized voice notes, you can also buy us a coffee on our web.
Buy us a coffee.
We accept donations.
And all of this, you can find it searching at the VM podcast somewhere, or only at the VM talks.
Yeah.
And also, if you guys have, topics that you'd love to hear about or listen to, you can always contact us on our email or social media. We're always available, and
yeah, and we have a lot to say. So always
say.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're always here.
See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.